Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. 9.1.5 PTR is now available. And yes, the vast majority of people are running to test the new Covenant swapping ability. But I thought, you know what, we're going to look elsewhere, to the relaxing paradise in the sun. Yep, that's right, we're heading for the islands, man. So let's get into this. So keep in mind, this is all PTR. That means that everything we're talking about here is subject to change. Now with that out of the way, islands are very much back. And just as fun as, I was going to say you remember them, but most definitely as I remember them. I used to love islands. But this time, they're even better because they don't have the annoying AP grind attached to them.
Alright.
Now, if you're interested in venturing to the islands in the sun, all you need to do is simply head to your island master. I will put the locations on the screen now. Now, it used to be you would click on the table in front of them, and it would let you queue for your islands. Now, here is the bit that is a little different for those of us that played BFA. Rather than clicking on the table, which, as you can see, you can still do, you can still queue that way, but that is for group content. Instead, what you want to do is talk to the captain that is stood by the table. You will then be given the option of taking a private tour. Once you do this, you will be queued for islands. Then dropped into islands as normal, stood on the deck of your ship, ready for combat. Once the gates drop, it is of course business as usual. If you spend any time in BFA doing islands, which you kind of had to do, this will be nothing new to you. Simply go around, collect everything, kill it. Whatever's left behind, yeah, simply click it. And that's it. The ads appear to be level 51. This is when I was on my level 60. So a thought popped into my head. One of my guildies absolutely hates doing the 50 to 60 level grind. She's done it way too many times now, and she's just like, enough. I want to find some other way of leveling, please. So I thought, what if I was to go and do a solo island on my level 52 warrior? The result was actually quite surprising. It was 15% of my level coming from just one island. So I thought, let's take this back even a step further than that. So 10 minutes later, I had created a Volpyrian hunter. And by the time I had done the BFA start, I was, let's say, about halfway through to level 11. You can see it on the screen here. I headed straight down to the docks once I'd done all those shenanigans. And yep, as you can see, we were able to queue 4 islands as level 10. Now what I was intrigued about was, potentially, if we were to join, were the mobs going to be scaled to 51? What was going to happen? Were we meant to be able to get in here? But it seems to be perfectly legitimate. The mobs scaled perfectly to our level. As did, because yes, if you are Horde, the Alliance is still here running around trying to shank you. And if you are Alliance, then yep, the Horde are going to be there to try and kill you. But I will say this, they are very easy to solo. Even on I struggled on my Warrior. My Warrior is very poorly geared and just, I haven't played him in a long time. So I wasn't particularly good on my Fury Warrior. Also bear in mind, he was only 1 level above what these mobs are scaled to be. He could easily kill all 3 of the Alliance. And he struggled far more on the Elites that were in here. The Elites I was avoiding, they would kill him outright. The Alliance were easy to kill, so don't be put off by that. But back to our level 10. Once the island was completed, you get a lovely big chunk of XP at the end, and we had done 2 levels. Yep, that's right, we completed 2 levels in 1 dungeon. It was super easy and a lot of fun. We'd received some doubloons, and we were ready to queue again. I will say this is well worth doing it, especially if you're after the mounts and the pets. Simply leveling up in islands, which you can do from level 10. And I would guess, although this would need more testing, you'd probably go all the way up to, say, around 55, maybe 60, if you really pushed it, depending on how good the bonus was once you started to get into heroic and so on. That would be intriguing to see. But yeah, we'll probably do that one on live. We'll actually do that proper test. We'll level from 50 all the way to 60 and try and do it just in islands. But I'm getting distracted. I will say this. At the end of the day, this is far more interesting than just redoing the same old dungeons we've done time and time again. And it's also far better for learning your class than just doing world questing. I was using freezing trap on my level 10 within 30 seconds of being in the island. Something that I would never do if I was just running around the world. I'd just be one-shotting everything. Last of all, and something that a lot of people moaned about when originally islands were a thing and we were doing it in BFA, you don't get loot. Very rarely you'll get some transmog items, something like that, but you don't actually get any gear from this, meaning that you're going to be pretty badly geared once you stop and you need to head into whatever expansion you want to tackle next. Well, not so. And I will say this, I am not talking about the stupidly overpriced heirloom upgrades that are being introduced. Which, come on Blizzard, if you're going to make them cost that much, you really need to make them worthwhile. But that is a subject for a whole other video. What I'm talking about here is the doubloon vendor. Back in BFA, when we had issues with gearing after you'd leveled up in islands, they added a way of gaining gear that was purchasable via doubloons. Well, this, I'm very pleased to say, is still here. You can purchase items from the doubloons vendor, and the nice thing is it scales. So when I went to check on my level 60, it was level 51. When I went to check on my level 10, it was level 10 gear. So you can, whenever you decide to stop, if you've got a nice big pool of doubloons, you can just buy some of this gear wherever you're missing slots. Now don't get me wrong, these are not going to be amazing, but they will at least help a little. But that is a side issue. I'm just really happy to see islands back. I was a huge fan, myself and Cuddles, and several other guildies ran so many islands. Not because we had to, not because it has right, just because we really enjoyed playing our ults in islands and having fun. So I'm very happy to see it back. As we said before, I'm hoping this is the start of more expansion features being given a new lease of life. So they can become, I don't know, something more. They can become constant content. Next up, Blizz, the Mage Town maybe? Please? But that's enough for me, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Laters, everyone.